business as a contractor more than 5 years, I'll give you, and you're not putting at least $250 in your pocket a year, you got some work to do.
Yeah.
You deserve it. You deserve to make that amount of money for the risk you're taking.
I agree.
And it's not selfish. It's not greedy. And don't give me this crap. I want to be fair to my customers. It's not fair to your customers that you're broke and can't honor a warranty because you're out of business. It's not fair to your customers that you didn't charge enough. They hired you and now you rush to get to the next job to collect a deposit check for cash flow. Okay.
I had a homeowner on the phone this morning that had paid her guy up to a certain point that he hadn't finished everything, and he was already asking for more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, he's less and less out there because he's not going to get any money, and so it's bad for everybody if you're not charging enough. You're not going to go to the project if you're not getting paid if you're already behind.
Yep.
It's crazy, and to hear it from the homeowner side too, they're like, this is my house, this is my most personal asset. You promised me to be done in June. We're in August. Now I'm paying rent on another house. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
And when you charge enough, you can do what you need to do to finish on time.
Absolutely.
So you said something earlier about your own oxygen. What do you mean by that?
Take care of you first. I hate the analogy. It's a stupid airplane analogy. The thing if the air thing comes down, put your mask on first. Because if you're not, and I talk about it in my first book there, how quickly in an airplane, if you don't get oxygen, how quickly you go black, right? You're out. And you're no good to anybody else if you're passed out, and you're no good to your team and your family and the relationships you have, and you're no good to your clients when you're not breathing. And so getting oxygen to me is all about taking care of your machine. Like, hey, let's, to the best of your ability, you don't have to look like a bodybuilder or anything, but be in shape, right? Because it brings more energy and you perform better. Your thinking is clear. Date nights with your spouse, being able to be present when you're with your kids, all these things, take care of you. And then part of the auction is also money. Like I used to run my business in the early days where everyone got paid but me. I was like a pass-through company for the money. Like it was just 30 grand came in, a bunch went out, and there was $2,500 left. And I'm like, how do I live on this? And I just want to drill it in their heads here that it is not selfish for you to make a shit ton of money as a contractor. It is not selfish for you to say, nothing goes on my schedule before 9 a.m. because I'm going to work out. I'm going to take my kids to school and I'm going to be home there's always exceptions here and there with certain things in the trades because it's very, unpredictable with weather and crazy clients or whatever it might be, or a guy calls in sick. That's just life, but that shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah.
And I think that's why so many contractors, I don't know, the last time I looked at this number across all small businesses, like, and I think a small business is like 10 million or under or something like that. But the average contractor is doing under $1 million. My God, that's funny. a million a year. And they're not even making 100 grand. They're making like 60 grand on average. You can't live on 60 grand. And for those that are going, I'm in a small town, I could live on 60 grand. Okay. You might be able to pay your bills, but you're never going to get ahead. What are you going to do when, we live in Colorado Springs and my wife drives a nice BMW. It's like every 6 to 8 weeks, we're replacing or repairing a wheel because of the potholes here.
Yeah.
And that's just a simple thing. Well, what about when your kid needs braces or whatever you want to? I got 5 kids between us and we help each one of them to different degrees. I want to have the freedom to do those things and help my kids pay their rent while they're going to school or whatever it might be. So you're never going to get ahead. And I even think 6 figures a year is not enough, because then you figure in what happens. Do I want to invest? Do I want to have a retirement? Do I want to have a choice to have a retirement? Do I want to, most of our parents, are aging and most of our parents didn't plan for retirement. So now you're cutting a check to help family members and and you own a business. And I think contracting business is one of the best vehicles in the world to make money.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're operating in big chunks of money. We're not a personal trainer charging $75 an hour trying to build an empire.
Yeah.
Now some have online and stuff like that. I get it, but um, yeah, you
No,
got to get on.
and I've been doing some research, and nobody's construct. The average age of the construction worker is 47 years old,
Mhm.
right? We're getting there. There's tons of room to make tons of money. There's opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the clients I'm dealing with have started their businesses during COVID, right? There was such a
Mhm.
boom for residential construction, and I think it's still continuing, especially the remodel contractors. What do you
Yeah.
say to those guys that are worried about a recession?
Ignore it. I mean, it's plug for new book. I have a chapter on the elite salespeople don't get consumed by circumstances. Okay, circumstances, field conditions are always going to change. I'm a football team, you're a football team, we're going to play and it rains. The field conditions are what they are. We need to control what we can control. And so I think too many times we look at, oh my God, how's the economy? I'm not saying the economy doesn't affect things, but I'm saying we give so much attention to outside circumstances when if you just took control of the things you can control today, I'm going to prospect, I'm going to build relationships, I'm going to build my brand, I'm going to stay on the attack, I'm going to price my work right, I'm going to get sales training. All these, I'm going to have meetings with my team. I'm going to have my contracts in order. So, because that's good defense, right? I don't want people in the end zone on me. And so, um, and that's why this year at our Mile High event, the whole theme is sell unafraid. It's about stepping on the gas right now. During the Great Recession, when I had my painting company outside of Chicago, we actually raised our prices.